at thezone1059.com.
And turn your mic on, Matt. And we're off on a Monday of all the things that can happen and might happen on your show. The host not turning on his microphone is one of the worst things happening. Here we go. It's a Monday, and don't you dare say it. Somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Don't say that. Get on in here today on this Monday. It's a Reaction Monday. What are you reacting to? Well, you have a Super Bowl champ. You have the winners. And it is evermore the Seattle Seahawks. In fact, like it's one of those where if you didn't see the game, you look up and you see the score, what, 29-13, okay, whatever, ho-hum. You think, yeah, slightly competitive. It really was not competitive. I didn't think. The score hung around there, but it never felt like the Patriots were going to have a shot. And look, for good and for bad, I guess, I don't consume a lot of content, sports content outside of this show and live ball games. I don't know if people are talking about this or not, but the whole idea that Drake May, the quarterback for the Patriots, had a bum shoulder, throwing shoulder, I think you could tell because he was ever more off in that game. Plus, he's getting pressured and all, but still just basic accuracy was not there. And it had been all year. So there's that. I went to something this weekend. This was on Saturday, not yesterday, but Saturday, just for a little while. I slipped out there on Saturday, and it forever more whet my appetite. If you look that up, it's not W-E-T, like water is wet. It's wet. It's an H in there. W-H-E-T. Whet my appetite. I saw baseball at Duty Noble Field on Saturday. I sure did. It was a scrimmage. But I didn't care. I mean, the sun was out. I was there shooting some pictures with some old trusty film cameras from yesteryear. Developed the film at home. The film just looks better than the digital stuff. And it's not better in terms of logistically, but it looks better. And so I saw that. Took some scrimmages images and watched State square off. And a buddy of mine I saw there, I went to go to church with, I saw him at the scrimmage on Saturday, and he said, hey, it's inter squad, so they split the squad, He said, so it's like a top 25 matchup. His take on it was that both teams, you could split State's team down the middle, inter squad, and both dugouts would still be good enough to be a top 25 team, is what he was saying. Nah, I don't know. But I thought they looked pretty good. And I tell you what did look good. Bright blue skies and sunshine and warm temps. Like today, it's 70-something degrees. Beautiful. And it is officially college baseball opening week. This time this weekend, we'll be watching baseball. Games that matter. Woo, boy. Sing along. Big finish here. Hey, play ball. So as of today, it is the Monday of opening week, and so we're going to have baseball this weekend. I know y'all are tickled about it. I am tickled about it. So get on in here. There's lots of ways for you to be a part of the show. Hey to you on Facebook. How are y'all? On YouTube, how you doing? X. Feel free to type in a comment. If you're watching that live stream over there, Facebook, YouTube, or X, just type in a comment, post it. It pops up here. All of the comments come in one place, and then I can click them, and we can have you on the show that way. It's one way to be a part of it. Like here, for example, first comment of the day on YouTube is from David, who said, first of all, Hail State, all caps with one exclamation point. Hello, Matt and Beaver. He says, I don't know about y'all, but I turned the channel for the halftime show during Super Bowl, and baseball starts Friday. That's David. Yeah, there was no halftiming going on around here. We were picking up Mary Liddy from a birthday party, and it's been a good part of the halftime helping Annabeth. She was trying to get some chili ready to eat for the second half, and she was making banana pudding. So we were picking up and cooking and, whipping things together during the half. We couldn't have watched any halftime if we'd wanted to. Hey, Steve on Facebook said he's watching from Red Bay, Alabama, gave us a hail state. I know all about Red Bay. Steve. Red Bay, Alabama. It's not too far from here where I live in Tupelo, Mississippi, and it's really close to where I grew up, most of my childhood in Russellville, Alabama. You got that new highway that comes right through there. Well, it's come through there for a while, but they have the new part that connects over to Fulton. Yeah, so we can get to Huntsville and Nashville and everything right through Red Bay, Alabama. Steve, thanks for being here and being a part of the show. Also, do not forget, you may text me on the Country Pleasing text line. The number to text is 885-3776. It's a 601 number. 885-3776. Country Pleasing sausage on grocery store shelves all around the Southeast. It's the best. I had to make a grocery store run for a few of the things we were going to need, make some of that banana pudding and other things. This was after church yesterday. And what did I do when I went past the meat section there, pre-packaged meat section at the local Krogs, as Beaver would say? Yep, jalapeno and cheddar. I didn't have any. And so I picked up a package of that, and I couldn't help it. True story. I opened it up, started eating on it this morning at breakfast. And then you can also call me. Of course, we'd love to hear your voice on the Junction phone line. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi, fueled by Prince Oil Company. The number to call there, 897-1059. That's a 601 number, 897-1059. What was your Super Bowl experience? What's your thoughts on the game? What did you eat? There's a lot of people talking about that, too, and sent me some stuff. All right, J-Rock texted with a picture to prove it. Pre-game meal yesterday. It was definitely better than the game, and yes, that is Country Pleasing sausage. And I think what I'm looking at here, J-Rock, it's a little fuzzy here, but I'm looking at it on my, let me zoom in here. Okay, do we have red beans and rice with Country Pleasing sausage in it? I'm going to guess that's what? Probably some Cajun or some andouille. Then you got some other Country Pleasing sliced up and grilled. You got some jalapenos sliced up and a couple of pieces of toast, buttered toast. Man, I'm going to tell you what. You did it right. Cowboy Reddy texted the show. He said, how was the Super Bowl? Well, it was 29-13 was the final. It really was not that close. By the time that it was, 12-0 at the end of the, did I get that right? Yeah, 12-0 at the end of the third quarter. It was over. When that interception happened, it was over. I didn't need to see anything else after that. You kind of felt like it was over, and all it took was one big turnover. That was all they needed. Man, the Seahawks defense just absolutely chewed them up, spit them out. What was the final number on total yards? See, it's going to skew the stats because the Patriots had 13 points in the fourth quarter, so they moved the ball some. Total yards, they finished with 3. See, that's the thing about it. Total yards, Patriots finished with 331. Seahawks had 335. But what was it? They had like 50 yards of offense in the first 3 quarters or something. I mean, it was something like that, silly like that, or maybe it was halftime. But regardless, you didn't have to watch a whole lot to know that, look, a 2-score game, maybe miracle with the way that Seahawks defense was playing. But once it became a 3-score game, ball game, over. Delta Tide fan said on the Country Pleasing text line, to take everybody's mind off the Super Bowl stuff, 2-time Bassmaster Classic winner Hank Cherry won his very first Elite Series season tournament this weekend at Lake Gunnersville in Alabama. He did it by swimming an old school Zoom Fat Albert grub. Well, so in February at Guntersville, swimming a grub. Well, what kind of depths, though, at Guntersville? Now, how about that? What would the water temps be? Those guys, man. Delta Tide fan, those guys. They just know. It's like these pro golfers. They're playing a different game than the rest of us. Those pro fishermen. There's not a whole lot of deep water at Guntersville, right? Delta Tide fan. He's swimming a grub and catching them. I'm impressed. All right. Just getting started with y'all here on this Reaction Monday. A lot more texts and comments to get to. We'll get headlines coming up in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's a whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. What we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roast it right there. That's whole me.
Man Wyatt.
Oh, I am starving.
Don't worry, he's got a menu full.
On the Zone 105.9 and worldwide
At the Zone 105.9.
All right, back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. They are your home team here in Mississippi. You can trust me on that. Your hometown heroes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agents in all 82 counties. Even the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance. Where is it? Here. Jackson, Mississippi. You know, if you have your home auto coverage with Farm Bureau Insurance, and something has to be, quote unquote, run up the flagpole. You know how the forest, what the top of the flagpole is? Jackson, Mississippi. It's local still. And it's great because, it's a local agent, your Farm Bureau Insurance agent in your area. It's just like you. Kids go to school together. Y'all go to church together. You're sitting beside them on Friday nights at the ball game. And it's usually a one-on-one, my phone to his phone text, or call situation where if something happens, I don't have to wait till, business hours and call some 800 number and talk to somebody in an answering service several states away or even in another country. With Farm Bureau, I call my agent. He deals with everything, and I know where he lives. And he knows where I live. And we're buddies. And that's worth everything, especially when you're having to make those calls and ask questions that are uncomfortable. You really don't want to have to ask about, this happened and that fell and this has got a hole in it and we had this bump, fender bender. All right. So rolling along with you here, I've got a bunch of text messages to get to on this Reaction Monday. We've got comments coming on the live stream from Facebook and YouTube and elsewhere. We're coming to all of those next, right after the headlines.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world.
Good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Here's what's making news.
Headlines on the show brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank right here in Mississippi. Anything mortgage related, that's where you want to go. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. Buying, refinancing, anything like that. mortgagemanms.com. Final score, Seahawks 29, Patriots 13. Nobody could score until the fourth quarter, and then it didn't matter. It's weird. You had a combined 12 points in the first three quarters, and then both teams scored more than 12 points in the fourth quarter each. And so the score ballooned on out there a little bit, but it didn't matter. Seattle got it done with just 202 passing yards, but they gave the MVP to the running back, Kenneth Walker, 135 yards, rushing at the long run of 30. So it's kind of old school. What they say, it's been like 20-something years since a running back got the MVP in the game. Over to Major League Baseball, here's one for you. Now, Braves fans know the name, but if you're going to follow Jake and Connor and the Pirates this year, the Pirates have agreed to a one-year, $12 million deal with veteran slugger Marcell Ozuna, former Brave. He's played for some other teams too. Now, he's 35 years old, but he's got a little pop in the lineup. They're trying their best to put a team around Skeens, aren't they? Making some moves. And then finally this in college football. I don't know if you saw it over the weekend, but this is a little bit of a head-scratcher to me. I'm assuming it's a money decision. It's a revenue opportunity and a money opportunity. Anyway, North Dakota State football, the Bisons, are joining Mountain West, the Mountain West Conference. FCS powerhouse, FCS is the old Division II. FCS powerhouse, North Dakota State, has finalized an agreement to join the Mountain West Conference in football starting in 2026. Now, it's football only, but that's starting this fall. It said, the story I saw said the school, North Dakota State, expected to pay nearly $12 million to join, with an addition, which is in addition to $5 million it's going to have to pay the NCAA to move. But they're going to be in that conference in the Mountain West with Northern Illinois, UTEP, Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Jose State, UNLV, and Wyoming. And those are your headlines, brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Luminate Bank. Find them online, mortgagemanms.com. Hail State fan on YouTube says, I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but I had chicken kebabs, grilled onions, well, chicken kebabs with grilled onions, peppers, and zucchini on rice. Bring that on. Sounds great. Garrison commented on Facebook. He's watching in Laurel, Mississippi. Hashtag Hail State, all the way from Jones County, the Free State. G. Bama Boy sent us greetings. And this time of year is what Garrison's got on his mind. NASCAR and college baseball. Here in February, NASCAR. Okay, February, we get the Daytona 500 in February, right? Right? When's the first Talladega come around? July? Is it in the summer? And then it comes around again in the fall? Unnamed texter says, Hail State and go Diamond Dogs. I'm telling you, I enjoyed seeing that scrimmage, parts of it, and just kind of being there and being around everybody and seeing that. It was a really good crowd. They had a basketball game at the Hump with Arkansas, and you kind of knew going in what was going to happen there. I think State's averaging about a 20-point loss at home in conference play, and pretty much happened again. And so they timed it out when the basketball game was over, and people were kind of filing out of the Hump. Is right about the time the baseball scrimmage had ramped up, and so everybody started kind of, just flowing into the – you had a really nice crowd. I saw a lot of Arkansas basketball fans going into the baseball scrimmage over at Duty Noble, but it was beautiful weather, and it was actually a pretty decent crowd there to watch the baseball scrimmage right off. Scott texted the show, says, Matt, how are you going to put up a list of Westerns and not have Blazing Saddles as your number one? Ha ha. Well, okay, here's the thing. If I'm not careful here on a Monday, Scott, we'll spend way too long on this. Can a Western, when we say a Western movie, can a Western be a comedy? Really? Okay, so, or is it a whole separate category? A Western comedy. See, wouldn't you put Blazing Saddles kind of in the same category as Back to the Future 3? Like if you'd put them when I say in the same category, same kind of movie, okay, and then you do but you wouldn't put either one of those, would you? Blazing Saddles and Back to the Future 3 in the same grouping as The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in the West. I mean, you wouldn't, would you? See, I told you I'd spend too long on it. White Denzel texts the show and says, how about Mike McDonald becoming the first NFL head coach who's the primary defensive play caller to win a Super Bowl? I mean, it's fantastic. Did you hear his comment afterwards too, on the field or on the podium, Denzel, in his interview?
I believe God called me to be a coach, and I listened to him, and I thank him. And we are incredibly blessed to be Seahawks, to be 12s, and now we're world champions.
How about that? Yeah, it's really neat. And boy, howdy, were they ever more dominant? Thought they were dominant. Patriots offensive line was sitting duck. They had no chance. And May was already hurt. You could also see that, yeah, he's hurt. That shoulder's not right. There's no way. That's what I think. Clay, thanks for the picture. Looks like we had a good cookout. Hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken wings. Now, I have to ask you, Clay, are those boneless chicken wings I'm looking at? You like the boneless chicken wings? Unnamed texter said, I didn't watch the game, but I saw the logo on the field. Was it resembling the rainbow? Well, I don't know what that was. It was very multicolored, but I don't know what it was. I didn't actually. I do kind of. I can picture it in my head. I didn't pay that close attention to the logo, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was. All right. Lewis commented on YouTube, and he said, hey, man, I thought it was Talladega. Thankfully, it's baseball season. Go Dogs. No, what I'm telling you, Lewis, ask anybody from the state of Alabama, especially the people who live in that county, which is Talladega County and the town. The people there have always said Talladega, not Talladega. The whole world says Talladega. People there say Talladega. Back after this.
This is Jake.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Deli's Convenience Redefined and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton. We say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? They don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local, agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to
Matt Wyatt has got it all for you.
Just listen to that!
At the Zone 1059 and coming to you worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt. Rolling along here today on this Monday. We got somebody watching in Reno, Nevada. Thomas gave us all caps, Hail State, all the way from Reno. Hey, Thomas, is it out there in Reno? Is it really like what we saw on that comedy show with the policeman? Reno 911. Is that really what it's like out there? Let me know. RS, been a while. Go Dogs, from one dog to another dog. Hope you're doing well. He says this is on X. Matt, do you have any thoughts on Kim Caldwell labeling her team quitters, and what kind of impact could such comments have on the Lady Vols basketball program? Well, let me be honest with you. I don't know anything about it. I really don't. I must have missed it. I don't want to comment on it until I can kind of see context or whatever and see what happened. I did see, where would I have seen it? Maybe it was a Facebook thing or something where I saw where they got blown out by South Carolina. But I don't know any details on the comment. So I don't know. Maybe they did quit. Afternoon to you, Bulldog, Mississippi. Thanks for being here. Y'all keep them coming. Commenting on the live stream. It's a one way to plop down, like virtually plop down at the table with us and pull up a chair and join the conversation. We'll even pour some hot coffee into your thermos, or into your mug from the thermos from High Point Roasters Coffee here in New Albany. New Albany, Mississippi. Go to highpointroasters.com. Let me have some of that while it's still hot. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. That's the real deal right there. Some of that breakfast blend from High Point Roasters Coffee, the oldest coffee roasters in Mississippi. Go to highpointroasters.com. Big old 1 pound bags of it. So you're not going to run out anytime soon. Well, you might. If you're like me, you drink so much of it that you still run out. But not as soon. Unnamed texter. No, we had that one. Let's see. Jason in Flagstaff. First, he said, tell Steve in Red Bay, Alabama to mail me an extra large sweet tea from the Cardinal Drive-In. Hey, Red Bay, their school, are they the Tigers? Are they the Red Bay Tigers? I think they are. Okay, but help me out, Jason. Belmont, like just this side of the state line at Red Bay, isn't Belmont the Cardinals? Did I dream all that up? I think that's right. And I've heard about it for years. Well over 20 years, the first time I heard it, people would tell you about the intense rivalry, especially like girls basketball rivalry between Red Bay and Belmont. Dog tired in Florence. You know what you're doing. He texted with a picture. Super Bowl weekend, Saturday lunch, country please and smoked chicken salad on toast. Sunday night, country please and smoked Boston butt, cut thin against the grain with Coop's favorite sauce. That's it. Coop's favorite barbecue sauce. And then he said, pro tip, they smoke the butts on Friday and Saturday. Only a finite number. Sell until they're sold out. But if you call on Thursday, have one set aside. No rush. Get there. It's waiting on you. Well, I just broadcast your secret. Dog tired. I hope it works. Kenny, don't call me Ken, texted the show, said he had leftover Mexican food during the game. Nothing wrong with that, unless it's leftover guacamole, okay? Because there are few things that go from looking good to looking bad quicker than anything avocado related. Like when it's fresh, it's great. That bright green, it's tasty, it's good. And then you just sit it in the fridge, and by 4 hours later, that stuff is looking like, I don't know, I can't say what it turning all brown and everything. John in Rolling Fork said, anything in particular stick out to you in the scrimmage? Okay, yeah. They are, as you would expect, there seemed to be a lot of emphasis on the little details of everything, like the fundamentals of baseball. And they're just very solid and machine-like in all that. You know, I know it's a scrimmage and it's a week before the season's going to open, so you would expect things to kind of be rounded into shape then. Anyway, we just have seen, John, some teams in recent years that they do a lot of the big things well, but on the little things, the details, and the fundamentals, they were sloppy. And that's one thing that stuck out to me is they were sharp. Fielding ground balls, throwing people out, digging it out at first base. You didn't see pass balls, throws coming in the infield, tons of communication. And it was neat, too, because being in a scrimmage situation, I told you there was a pretty good-sized crowd there to watch the scrimmage. It's not like a game, though. It's fewer people there than any game you'll have. And, so you don't have music and you don't have, the crowd noise and all that kind of stuff. So it was neat. You could hear all of the communication that was going on. So backing up throws to first, backing up throws to home, and, fielding bunts, communicating, 2-2-2, outfielders calling each other off. I just felt like I was watching a team that is well coached and is whipped into shape so that your talent can then determine if you're good enough to win or not. You see what I mean? And those things are ironed out. They looked like a really fundamentally solid, sound group to me. And talented. I mean, they are big, strong, and fast. But when they're playing each other, I guess it's easy to see that if that's what you want to see, right? Which is kind of what I wanted to see. And I spent a lot of time looking through the viewfinder, the camera, shooting pictures and stuff, so I wasn't watching every pitch like everybody else was that was there. Yeah, it's a good question. Earlier I was asking someone, it looked like they had the boneless chicken wings. J-Rock says, if a chicken wing does not have a bone, it's not a chicken wing, it's a nugget. I mean, I think it's a great point. I think it's really important stuff too, J-Rock. I mean, look, a chicken wing without a bone is a nugget. And what else can it be? I agree with you. I'm in on that. And I love chicken nuggets. This is not a for or against. I'm for both of them. It's just we got to agree on what to call it. A wing's got a bone. A nugget doesn't. Bulldog, Mississippi with another important question. Matt, what's your opinion on adding coleslaw to a barbecue sandwich as a topping? Buddy, I am for it. I'm for it. I like it. I'm especially for adding slaw to the top of that country pleasing sausage dog at the baseball game. But that's a different topic, I know. It's a true story. Coming up in Alabama, we ate a lot of barbecue. In and around the places that we lived. We ate a lot of barbecue in Birmingham, places we'd stop. Ate a lot of barbecue in Chilton County and in Clinton, where my dad was from. We'd go to get-togethers. Sometimes we'd go get it. Where we lived in Prattville, 2 or 3 different places. One across the highway over in Elmore County. And I never, ever saw or had a barbecue sandwich with slaw on it. And then in Starkville, now it might have been Little Dewey's, but I don't remember. I don't remember the specific place, but we were somewhere on a football recruiting trip in Mississippi when I was a high school, junior or so. I ordered a, barbecue sandwich. The lady at the counter goes, "You want slaw?" I went, "Yeah." I'm thinking on the side, "Give me some slaw." When my plate came, it had slaw on my sandwich. And I remember going, "Oh gosh, I didn't realize when she asked me slaw, I didn't realize she meant on the sandwich." Well, I just ate it anyway and decided right then that most of the time when I have barbecue sandwich, I want slaw on it. Whether slaw is available or not, I want it on there. No wonder they do this. That's what I thought. All right. A little bit of time in hour one, but we got a long ways to go today. Plenty of time. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well. Look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. you have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on.
Or even losing a game. You're going to hear about them all and get to talk about it with Matt Wyatt right here, right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
All right, back with you. Regarding Reno, Nevada, and then the show Reno 911, Thomas on Facebook, who's in Reno, says, you know better. He said, it really is the biggest little city. He says, you can't go out to eat without running into somebody you know. How about that? That's pretty neat. I want to see it. Never been there. Have only seen pictures, beautiful ones at that. I want to see it. Thomas, I appreciate your listening to the show. Is this home for you, Thomas? Is Mississippi home, or is that home? You just, and if so, how'd you become a State fan? I'd love to know. We had somebody earlier make a strong point that, and let me preface this by saying, if you just tuned into and you're like, man, I want to hear some sports, just hang on. Be patient, please. Somebody made a strong point that a chicken wing without a bone in it is a nugget. I think it's a great point. Gene, you're right. He says the softball team off to a good start, talking about Mississippi State playing well. And then Hail State fans said the UNC Duke game was fantastic. Great job by the Heels for not quitting. Their only lead of the game came with 0.4 seconds left. And Dean Smith would have been proud of their fight. How about that? It's never over till it's over. Any time on the clock, there's a chance, unless you're the Patriots playing the Seahawks defense. And then in that case, there is no chance. Ricky Bobby on the Country Pleasing text line. If you debone the wing and cook it, then what is it? You've made your own chicken nuggets. Wings have bones, nuggets don't. State Grad 98 says, I'm totally against nuggets being called boneless wings. I'm also against not tipping your food delivery person. Yeah, I agree with that. You got to tip them. Need to. Jason in Flagstaff. I was asked an innocent question by Bulldog Mississippi on YouTube, who said, what's your opinion on adding coleslaw to barbecue sandwiches as a topping? And I went into when I got it for the first time, and I remembered thinking, man, I like this. Ooh, I like it. Give me some. Give me some more, that is. And Jason in Flagstaff, Arizona, just came over here to the Country Pleasing text line and just went off. He said, and I quote, the perfect place for coleslaw, bottom of the trash can. What?
Someone has to make sense.
Beaver.
And it's Jason, by the way.
Born and raised in Pearl, Mississippi, young Beaver, and is a no-go non-starter on coleslaw?
Never have been. Never have been a fan of coleslaw.
Well, you don't have to like it. I'm just a little surprised. I tell you what's even more surprising, Beaver. You want to know what's even more surprising? That you hate it so much that your response to Jason on the Country Pleasing text line was in all caps. Now, I have to ask you, was that intentionally, or are you just on an old computer, temporary interim computer that can only type in all caps?
No. You know what? First off, let me give you credit for noticing that. Yes, it is by design. Some things deserve all caps and multiple exclamation points. I try to tell that to your friend Jake here in the afternoon when someone texts in, and it's not often, but occasionally we'll have people text in all caps. I read them appropriately because it deserves louder talking.
Okay, let's do that. Let's show the listeners that so the few listeners that we have, Beaver, that do listen to this one and to Jake's show, I might read it normally. Finally, what you said regarding coleslaw in the trash can. You said, finally someone making sense on this slaw crap, ! Now, how does it read if it's in all caps?
Finally, someone making sense on this slaw crap.
See? There. Okay, we've made the point of that. I'm glad that you gave me credit for noticing. I noticed the caps thing. The all caps deal. Beaver Bulldog, Mississippi on YouTube says coleslaw maligned again. Coleslaw maligned again. Beaver, let's start a food podcast. It's going to be, the name of it is Coleslaw Maligned Again, short CMA. The CMA show, Coleslaw Maligned Again. Lewis on YouTube says coleslaw on my barbecue every time. Followed by an LOL. I don't know. I don't think that was sarcastic. B, let's kick it up a notch. Unnamed texture in regular caps, lowercase it is, vinegar-based slaw, sign me up. But that string mayonnaise stuff can go in the trash. Now we're splitting hairs.
I think the only kind I've ever had is the mayonnaise based.
Yeah.
I didn't even know slaw was made with vinegar.
Yeah, I've had it. You know, and it's not what it's not in at all similar to the other kind of slaw. Is what I would say. Now, is this what we're getting at, Beaver? Unnamed texter here says slaw on barbecue is a Yankee thing. See, I don't think so. There's lots of places in the South that do it. I bet it started down here. What you want to bet? Unnamed texter. Jason and Beaver are wrong on coleslaw. You know, look, we are not an official survey taker. But I can just note that in the few responses we've had since you and Jason went rogue on this, that Beaver, most people are in disagreement with you on here.
Oh yeah, I know. We are strongly in the minority.
Okay, and our guy didn't mean to say string mayonnaise. He meant strong. There's a difference. There's a big difference between string mayonnaise slaw and strong mayonnaise slaw. Jason in Flagstaff says, what was that? Jason in Flagstaff was born, raised, live in very rural northeast Mississippi, most of 40 years, also hates coleslaw. I do not want rabbit food drowned in mayonnaise, especially on grilled meat. And then he called us all, and I quote, sinners. See, Jason, I think what it is you're in Tishomingo County and 𝐌𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐢 in that area, on the state line of Alabama, very close proximity to where I grew up in northwest Alabama in Franklin County, not too far from the Shoals area, where I never saw or heard of putting slaw on a barbecue sandwich. Turns out it's good. I think, Jason, that you are in the category of don't knock it until you try it. Maybe that goes for Beaver too. I just want to note, though, that here it is on February the 9th, in the year of our Lord 2026, and we have an emphatic agreement between Beaver and Jason in Flagstaff. And I mean, I'm talking about the kind of agreement where y'all seen that meme from the show Game of Thrones where there's that one guy standing there and he whips his sword out and there's a whole army of cavalry plowing towards him and it's just him against them? Well, in this case, it's two guys with swords against an entire army of slaw eaters. And there stand Jason and Beaver pulling their swords out and are just going to fight it on into eternity. Dog tired in Florence. And say, yeah. He says, okay, coarse cut slaw on barbecue sandwich, fine cut as a side on a fish plate. All right. I know exactly what he's saying. Fine cut slaw. That's a side for fish. Hush puppies. Coarse cut. Put it on a sandwich, he said. Kenny Don't Call Me Ken says, I hated coleslaw until I ate my ex-mother-in-law slaw while eating fried fish. Now I make mine just like hers. We have the third individual who's with Jason and Beaver in the subject. And Millwood said that coleslaw on barbecue originated in North Carolina, supposedly. Well, that ain't Yankees. So take that. Hour 2 coming up. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, Matt Wyatt here. Each week on the Mississippi Outdoors Podcast, we talk with the people who live it. Hunters, biologists, game wardens, local celebrities, and storytellers that know Mississippi better than anyone.
Those bass come up there and attack them. You know how mean bass can be there.
You're never going to believe this. Matt Wyatt just talked about your deer on the radio. I said, what did he say? He said, it was Photoshopped. And I said, what?
They don't know anything about hunting. They just have never had that right, that freedom.
Dude, that's us, man. That's what we do. So tune in. Be inspired, and we'll see you outdoors.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. The Junction Delis, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful,
people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince.
Where it's time for the guy who always gets you to the ball game on time. And here's the pitch. It's Matt Wyatt with all the good stuff you need to know right here on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Slaw on the barbecue sandwich. So says I. Welcome into hour number 2 of the show. In the Bureau, that is the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance all across the great state of Mississippi. Your hometown heroes at your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents. I'm Matt. Beaver is here. And he and Jason in Flagstaff, Arizona, are fighting the rest of us on this slaw on the sandwich versus slaw not on the sandwich. And if you don't know, you better call somebody with your C Spire phone. C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. Check them out at cspire.com. I just got my notification on my phone that Mary Liddy's new phone that we ordered for her through C Spire, which includes more storage for more pictures that we got online at cspire.com, and we clicked through our account and which phone we wanted to trade in, and then she was able to scroll through and browse through the one she wanted, found the one she wanted, what color, what's, model, what size storage, and we ordered it, and I just got the notification about 10 minutes ago that it is shipped out. And so that's going to be one happy youngin' if that thing will hurry up and get here. But here's what I was going to say about the whole slaw on the barbecue sandwich thing. I like it. And I just want to say that for the record, I texted someone who knows so much more about this than I do to settle this for me. Y'all have met him here on the show. He's been here before. But many of you most likely have seen him, follow him on social media. Stafford Sheridan from Drew, Mississippi. He used to be Judge Sheridan, restaurant owner. He's written a book. Stafford Sheridan from Drew, Mississippi, who online on Facebook and TikTok and elsewhere, y'all kind of know him as the gas station food reviewer guy. He's got millions and millions of views on review. I texted him to settle this for me and said, settle it. Slaw on the barbecue sandwich or no slaw? And he said, slaw on. Slaw is one of those words that if you say it over and over and over again, you start to feel really silly. Something silly about it. My man Thomas out in Reno, Nevada, he graduated from Mississippi State back in 1983. He's a long-time alum. Will says on YouTube, coleslaw belongs on the plate in one instance. That's beside fried bass fillets, French fries, and hush puppies. And he says that's it. He said he don't want to put it on no sandwich. Lewis is over here laughing at our conversation. He might have. Which one of y'all started this? Bulldog, Mississippi said the problem is people who don't know how to make coleslaw are making coleslaw. He says many people don't season it properly. Hey, who makes the best fast food slaw? I'm talking about you get it in the drive-thru. Now, I would ask Beaver this question, but he hates it. He doesn't eat slaw. He's not a slaw man. The chicken places like Popeyes, they got great slaw. But I'm going to tell you now, hang in there with me, and I haven't been to one in a while. But of all the things that you can get at a KFC, I believe the KFC slaw is the best thing they have. I sure do. Better than original, better than crispy, better than the green beans and the mac and cheese and the mashed potatoes and gravy. The best thing you can get, I think, at a KFC is a slaw. That's my opinion. Have we gone too far on this? Who cares? Let's just pour some more coffee and just keep on rolling. Old school Ed on the country pleasing text line says, Memphis put slaw on a sandwich. And he said, Payne's barbecue is the best. Which one is that? Where is it? What's that one over there close to the Liberty Bowl Stadium? Is that Central? Is it called Central Barbecue? That's good, too. Jason in Flagstaff says, I could tell you what I think of, quote, popular opinion, but you wouldn't be able to read it on the air. He says, P.S. I've tried it. My folks forced that slaw on meat crap on me as a kid. Fed a lot of birds in my child. Man, he hates it. I'm talking about hates it. Jason in Flagstaff would starve before he would eat a barbecue sandwich with coleslaw on it. Despises the idea that it's slaw on meat. I mean, come on, Jason. What about lettuce? Do you eat lettuce on a hamburger? Jay in Baltimore, he was trying to get through on the phones, but they had the equivalent to like a lightning strike in there on Friday. There's lots of stuff on the Fritz. No, that's the no. You got one number to call the show, 897-1059. Jay, and let me make sure you got the current number. I'm going to say it out loud, but I'm also going to type it in here. It may be a different number since Jay used to call in, quite honestly. But 897-1059, that's a 601 number, is the number to the Junction phone line. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi. Fueled by Prince Oil Company. Did you know that we can tell where you're from by the way you pronounce that word, that three-letter word, O-I-L? We can tell where you're from based on how you say it. How do you say it? How do you say the word? How do you say this word? B-O-I-L. You're going to have a shrimp, a crawfish, a crab. B-O-I-L. How do you say that? I know some people that say bowl. The homecoming queen says boil. Boil. There's two syllables. But I know some people that say bowl. I know some others say bowl. I say, well, what do you eat cereal out of? Bowl. Say it the same way. Yeah, now, Carlos, listen, he said the slaw dog. You put slaw on a country pleasing sausage dog, get one of those at the Mississippi State baseball game at Duty Noble. You will thank me later. Grumpy texted the show. He says Grumpy loves slaw on dogs, sandwiches, and sausages. Texting on Grumpy's C Spire phone. He says also Grumpy has no Bad Bunny hangover. Did not watch. Signed, Hail State. Jason woke up on the wrong side of the bed. He's mad about it. Jason said the pet store probably makes the best slaw. Come on, Jason. Would starve to death before he ate some of it. Kenny Don't Call Me Ken said, I'm in Starkville for the day. What go-to meal should I pick up and take back to Greenville for supper? Yeah, I don't know, Kenny. I'm not a foodie. Don't know. It's not. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't dare throw things up against the wall and just try to make it stick on you. I just don't know. I'm not. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I'm whip into the gas station at the Junction Deli and grab some beef jerky and just keep rolling. So you're just asking the wrong guy. I don't know what to tell you. And that's terrible, isn't it? I know, Moose Dog. I don't even want to talk about it. Opening weekend for baseball, Duty Noble Field, Starkville, Mississippi. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rain in the forecast all 3 days. Now, I hope that it's not terrible, but we'll take a look. And State Grad 98, I agree with you. Boil should be a 2-syllable word. I agree with you. Rolling along, we'll hit headlines, hour number 2 headlines coming up after this, and your comments, your calls, your opinions, and your text messages. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. That's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. What we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi. Roasted right there. That's whole bean. One more. I got more. Ah, tried and true. Magnolia Blend. High Point Roasters coffee, New Albany, Mississippi.
All right, back with you, staying connected because of C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. C Spire, customer inspired. Check them out at cspire.com. Yeah, that's right, Will. Probably a little late in the show to be mentioning that, but a big old congrats to Mississippian Charles Cross. And when I say late, my fault, not you, me. Yeah, Charles Cross from Laurel, Mississippi, went to Mississippi State, played his college ball there, and then was a first-round draft pick, left tackle for the Seahawks, and gets a Super Bowl ring. So congrats to Charles from right here. Let's see. Andre from Jackson said 2 weak Super Bowls in a row. Feels like the 80s again, Andre from Jackson. You know what you need, Andre? It does kind of feel like the 80s again. You know what you need? You need the triplets and the Cowboys to come along and save it. Light the whole thing on fire like they did in the early 90s, 4 years in a row, whatever the heck it was. That's what you need. Hey, speaking of that weather forecast, this is what it says right now. I mentioned to you, somebody brought it up, rain in the forecast all 3 days this weekend. What I'm looking at here, it's mostly Saturday and into Sunday morning. And then if you get even more exact than that, the highest, the highest percentage chances of rain are into increasing throughout Saturday late night and overnight into Sunday morning. These are the numbers if you want them. And this app that I use is usually pretty good. Friday, there's only a 32% chance of rain on Friday in Starkville. Mostly sunny. High of 71. It gets down to 48 that night. Now, again, you say 32% chance. That's just pretty even throughout the day. So it could rain, could pop up rain. You just don't know. But you're going to have a good mix of sunshine, and it's going to be nice and warm on Friday. So, you probably get all that in as long as you don't get lightning and stuff. And then I'm looking at it, like you say, on Saturday, what it's showing right now on Saturday, and I got to go a ways into it here. Here we go. What it's showing right now on Saturday is, for example, like at 7 a.m. on Saturday, it's at 30%, 40% at 9 a.m., 50% at noon, 70% at 3, 80% at 5. You see what I mean? And then it hangs around at 70, 80%. It doesn't show actual thunderstorm type stuff in Starkville until late Saturday night, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and overnight. Then on Sunday, as far as the rain forecast goes, Sunday, it shows it basically getting out of there by about 1 o'clock. Like, it's 50% chance of rain in Starkville. What it says, Sunday at noon. No, at 11. So 11 to noon, 50% chance. But by 1 o'clock, the sun's out. By 2 o'clock, sun's out, and the rain chances are down to 10% the rest of the day. So, here's what we know. Here's the good news. You're going to get baseball in this weekend. You're going to get it in, especially, Friday and especially Sunday. What happens in between, we shall see. But I know I'm happy that we're talking about it. I'm happy that it's that close. I'm also happy for you to call me on the Junction phone line. Junction delis all across the state of Mississippi, fueled by Prince Oil Company. That's where we go right now. Let her rip, Tater Chip, the Junction Deli. You know, it's like you pull up to the pump, fuel in your tank, then go inside, a little fuel in your belly from the Junction Deli. All right? On line 1 of the Junction phone, it is none other than Jay in Baltimore. Jay, welcome back to the show. What's up?
Well, I couldn't be happier that it's baseball season, and this team is right. I mean, can we be more excited about a season? So, loved your comments on the scrimmage. Got me thinking about the real question that I think everybody wants to know is what's that starting lineup going to look like?
Yeah.
What we certainly believe is no matter who he puts out there, we're going to be pretty offensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to get you to put yourself in the mind of Coach Oak. And there's a few positions we think second base, maybe the 2 corner outfield positions those are ones that are up for debate. Is he going to go for someone that's more offensive or more defensive in this early part of the season in your mind?
That's a good question. You know, Jay, wouldn't it make sense that in the early part of the year, you're gonna lean towards probably the offensive? Because there's 2 things about that. One is, you know, even the good offensive players, you know, you can hit, but you know, you start seeing other people's pitching. It's like you need to get some reps in a couple of weekends under your belt. You know what I mean? So kind of for the long haul, the people who potentially can help you at the plate the most, it's like you want to ramp them up and get them going. And then 2, you know, you're probably thinking that maybe some of the, you know, matchups that you see in the opening weekend, maybe not the deal out there in Texas, but then after that, you look at the matchup and decide, okay, which ones, you know, is our pitching at a huge advantage? And in those, then, you know, we're going to go offensive and not necessarily lean as much defensive. Does that make sense at all, what I just said?
I think I'm with you but we got to have the defense shore up by the time we get to SEC play. Mm-hmm. But I think you're right. With these teams that we're going to be playing, we should be obviously better.
Right.
Gives these guys, and I'm thinking of Garrick Fry as the one. He can hit. We need to give him opportunities on the defense. You know, if it's second base, get him out there and let's see what he looks like. And because I think that's going to drive it, though, the offense for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. But gosh, you know, isn't it great to have that conversation though of, hey, we got so many players and so many options that you might need a couple of weeks to figure out who's going to play for you in some of these spots, as opposed to, oh, well, at this position you have no choice, which we've seen that in the past too. It's a much better conversation to have for sure. Hey, Jay.
No question.
I know it's close when you call me. It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Have a good one.
You too. Call anytime. Jay in Baltimore, man, love some baseball. You know, and I'll admit that I'm not nearly as familiar right now with, you know, the individuals on the ball team that, you know, some of the diehard fans are, and, you know, certainly some of the media are. I'm not as familiar with it. You know, we kind of learn them as we go. Yeah, you know, and to my somewhat untrained eye, you know, like I said, I spent probably 2/3 of my time at the scrimmage, you know, looking through the viewfinder of one of my cameras. I was shooting a bunch of photos on old film and 2 different sizes of film, and coming home and developing all those. And I shared some of them, not nearly all of them. We got a lot of really good stuff. The film looks so good, and in some ways it looks old school. So I was doing that about 2/3 of the time. It wasn't like I was sitting watching every pitch. But you don't have to watch them very much to see that they're, you know, really strong, big and strong, really athletic. I saw them make several plays on tough ground balls where you go, oh, wow, okay, that was a play. And then, like I mentioned in the first hour, very, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, I said whipped into shape, you know, ironed out on the fundamental part of everything. field and ground balls, base pass situations, first and third, less than 2 outs. How are you going to handle it when second base is open and, defending bunts, communicating there, backing up throws, hitting cutoff guys, communicating when the ball's in the air, all those different things. It had the look and sound of a really sharp operation. Now, sure, they'll have, you start playing people. I mean, there'll be times when you look sloppy, but I don't think there will be very many of those, just based on what I see. And it is a very talented bunch. There's no doubt. And probably, if we're being honest, in some regards, a very expensive bunch. And that's why. But that's also the world we live in. All right, rolling along with you here in hour 2 in the Bureau. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Delis, Convenience Redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton, but we say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country-pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? They don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire. Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com,
Email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com. And let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agents.
Right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
All right, back with you. Rolling along here in hour number 2 of the show. Let's hit some hour 2 headlines.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world.
Good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Here's what's making news.
Headlines on the show brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Luminate Bank right here in Mississippi. Anything mortgage related in Mississippi, that's where you go. Here in the metro, places like Oxford, Starkville, Tupelo, all the way to Memphis and into Memphis, anything in between. Buying, refinancing, that's where you want to go. Start online at mortgagemanms.com. Contact them and you will have done a good thing. All right, 29-13 was the final. It was 12-0 Seahawks after 3 quarters. Then Seahawks scored 17 in the fourth quarter. New England scored 13. It was a little bit of a flurry of, whatever. But it was over well before that. And how about that? Win a Super Bowl 29-13, and Sam Darnold, he just took care of the ball for the most part. It wasn't pretty. 19 of 38, 202 yards and a touchdown. The running back, Kenneth Walker, had 135. That defense was pretty doggone incredible. What'd they end up with? Seattle's defense, 6 sacks in the game, 8 TFLs, hit the quarterback 11 times. Whew. Baseball. Here's a name Braves fans and some Cardinals fans will remember. The Pittsburgh Pirates have agreed to a 1-year, $12 million deal with veteran slugger Marcell Ozuna. He can hit the baseball. I don't know what else he does, but he can hit the baseball. They're going to pay him $10.5 million this coming year. The Pirates hope that Ozuna, who's 35 years old, is going to beef up an offense that finished with just 117 home runs last year, by far the lowest in the majors. So they need some home runs in the lineup. They're trying their best to put a little team, at least get going, put a little team together around Skeens and, maybe get something going for the number 1 prospect in all of baseball, Connor Griffin. Mangum's in there. So we'll get to watch Ozuna for the Pirates this year. College football, FCS powerhouse North Dakota State has finalized an agreement to join the Mountain West Conference in football. That's starting this fall, like it's happening right now. It's obviously a money thing. I don't understand all the money thing. They've been dominating for many years at the FCS level. Not every year, but for many years. They're always a part of it. And so they're going to step it up out of the FCS into the FBS, go to the Mountain West, and have to pay to do it. It's going to cost them $12 million to join the Mountain West. They have to pay another $5 million to the NCAA if they want to make the move. Now we're up to $17 million. You just have to pay out just to go. But I guess the opportunity for bowl rev and all that. North Dakota State's been one of college football's most dominant brands, and its transition to the FBS level will be a fascinating one. It comes at a time when the Mountain West, like many leagues outside the power conferences, need both revenue and football prowess amid the annual roster churn to higher levels. I mean, did North Dakota State feel like they had to do something to get up a level to curb the activity of FBS schools coming and paying their players to transfer? I don't know what the thinking is, but anyway, they're doing it. So they're going to the Mountain West, which also has Northern Illinois, UTEP, Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Jose State, UNLV, and Wyoming. And finally, let's look at the baseball schedule for this weekend. Oh, yeah. This Friday, you can actually start watching college baseball, SEC teams, in fact, as early as noon on this coming Friday the 13th here. At noon, you're going to have Oklahoma versus Texas Tech in this kind of round-robin event out there in Arlington at Globe Life Field. So Oklahoma plays Texas Tech at noon. Then you get LSU and Milwaukee in Baton Rouge at the Box at 3. You know, these right here might actually be Eastern times. Who cares what time it is? They'll be... So if it's at Eastern time, then this will be 11 a.m. for Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and 2 o'clock for LSU hosting Milwaukee at the Box. Georgia will have Wright State in town this weekend. The first game for Vandy out in Arlington at Globe Life Field is going to be against TCU. It's supposed to be really good. Kentucky starts this season on the road. They're going to Greensboro, North Carolina, UNC Greensboro. South Carolina hosting Northern Kentucky. Tennessee hosts Nichols. Ole Miss hosting Nevada. Alabama hosting Washington State. Missouri hosting Mount St. Mary's. Florida hosting UAB. A&M hosting Tennessee Tech. Auburn's hosting Youngstown State. Texas is hosting UC Davis. Oklahoma State's going to host Arkansas, and State at home versus Hofstra. Now, let's see. So I said hosting. Arkansas is playing Oklahoma State in that same event out at Globe Life Field this weekend that Vandy and Oklahoma are in. So I guess how many teams are in that? If you got 6 teams, then your 6 teams would be Arkansas, Vandy, and Oklahoma from the SEC, and then Texas Tech, TCU, and Oklahoma State from the Big 12. And there may be some others, but I guess not. Let's see, who's got the toughest ones? So Vandy playing Vandy playing TCU in game 1 on Friday. That's probably the toughest matchup throughout the league for anybody opening night. TCU is supposed to be a top 10 type of bunch. Wright State is always a threat to beat you. And they seem to always be making the NCAA tournament. They're always somebody's 3 seed or something in a regional. And they go to Georgia this weekend, so you never know there. I don't know anything about Washington State, but they get to go to Tuscaloosa. Florida and UAB, Auburn and Youngstown State, Texas and UC Davis. Now, I don't know much about UC Davis, but, out west, they're always a threat to be in the tournament. State and Hofstra. I don't know anything about Hofstra. Do you? What did they do last year? Anybody know? Speak up while the schedule loads. Here it is. Last year, Hofstra in the Coastal League, they were 18-36 overall. And they were 8-19 in their conference last year. For example, in the non-conference part of the year last year, Hofstra was swept by Tennessee 15-0, 18-1, and 13-1. Later, they were swept by Kentucky 7-5, 6-1, and 9-1. Now, you go, last year, man, I'm just telling you, that's all we know. And I realize that, who knows, it could be an entirely and completely new baseball team for all we know. But 3 games in Starkville this weekend with a good state team playing together for the first time, and a bunch of state fans that are, I'm talking, Friday cannot get here quick enough. Can't get here quick enough. There was a bunch of state and Arkansas fans who went ahead and walked out of that basketball game to go to the baseball scrimmage on Saturday. When does state have the deal where they play? Yeah. So, see, they go to another event at Globe Life Field in Arlington at the end of the month. And you'll have Arizona State, Virginia Tech, and UCLA. But that's at the end of the month. So between now and then for state, they're going to start with Hofstra 3 games this weekend, get Troy in a midweek, get Alcorn State in a midweek, and then play Delaware. The first true road game, as I said, what is it? An 8-game home stretch to start the year. No, I take that back. It's actually 9 because you have a midweek at Austin Peay. So 9 straight games to start the year before going to that event at Globe Life Field, neutral site deal. The first true road game for state is going to be on Tuesday, March the 3rd in Hattiesburg. Go play Southern Miss. That'll be fun. Let's load up the truck and go to Hattiesburg for that one on a Tuesday night. All right, a little bit of time left when we come back, and I'll get your thoughts, your comments, your texts, your opinions, your otherwise. Before we wrap it up today, I'm Matt in the Bureau. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down.
He's got a menu full on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at the Zone1059.com.
All right, back with you. A little bit of time left with you here today on this Monday. Monday. State grad 98 said, how about the softball dogs? A 4-0 start? Yeah, they're playing good here to start the year. Off to a 4-0 start. Got everybody excited. J-Rock texted the show, and he said, hey, Matt, if Jason had to choose between firing a coach or eating coleslaw, which one would it be? Not a fair question, J-Rock, because in his defense, Jason already told us, about a week ago, that he's ready to fire Chris Jans. He'd be all right with it. Time to move on. Appreciate it, but time to move. He already told us. And he also, for the record, I skipped over this earlier. Jason confirmed that he will eat lettuce on a burger, but he'd rather not. Won't eat anything else but cheese on a burger, though. He said, it's odd because I love a good salad on the side. On the side, he says. Well, I mean, it's going to get combined one way or the other, Jason. Will comments on YouTube. He said, State hasn't been this fired up for baseball since February of 22. Yeah, that's right. The year right after they won it all. And boy, quickly. He says, I'm hoping to take my dad to the Vandy game as a birthday present. Oh, man, that's cool. So State's got Vandy when? Late March 20th, 21st, 22nd, hosting Vandy at Duty Noble. That'd be great. Hope we get good weather for that. Hope it's not one of those late March snowstorms, which sometimes happens. How about this? I saw on social media just a minute ago during the break, somebody reporting, I mean, it's a take it for what it's worth type of thing. In the unbalanced SEC schedule world in baseball, the 5 teams that Texas misses on its schedule, does not have to play, are Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and LSU. And it will play all teams that are picked 10th or lower in the preseason. All the teams that are picked 10th or lower in the preseason are on Texas's schedule. Now, picks, who knows? You don't always know. It's bound to be some teams that are picked to be really good that aren't and won't. And there's some teams that are picked to be bad that ain't and are going to be good. But, yeah. And the thing about expectations, Will, why not? Really. I mean, at that level where you pay in players and you got, $2 and $3 and $4 million coach or $3 million coaches, to heck with the idea that expectations are a negative thing. No, rise to them. Rise to them or get out and somebody else do it. That's kind of where this is now. But how about that? Texas does not have to play Arkansas, does not have to play Florida, does not have to play Georgia, and does not have to play LSU. Heavens. State will have Arkansas in Fayetteville, Vandy in Starkville, Ole Miss in Oxford, Georgia at home, Tennessee at home, South Carolina in Columbia, LSU in Starkville, got to go to Texas, host Auburn, and finish the year at A&M. Pretty good schedule there. State, I mean, it's not bad for them. What does Texas have? So the ones that are at the bottom, I'll tell you. Texas actually opens the SEC season hosting Ole Miss middle of March. In about a little over a month. So Texas has Ole Miss at home, at Auburn, get Oklahoma at home, at South Carolina, at Texas A&M, get Alabama at home, go to Vandy, host State, go to Tennessee, finish the year hosting Missouri. Well, I mean, somebody's got to finish the year hosting Missouri. It might as well be Texas. Right? Doesn't make you wonder, doesn't it? Like, they got a deal. That's part of the deal. Hey, early part, we'll do it. But early on, I want easy schedules. I want a little bit of a schedule boost. Maybe that's what it is. On this day in sports history, on this day in 1895, I said 1895, in Massachusetts, W.G. Morgan invented volleyball. Did you know that the inventor of volleyball, W.G. Morgan, who invented it in Massachusetts on this day in 1895, had a dog? You know what his dog's name was? That's right, Spike. That was just a joke. I don't know what his dog's name was. On this day in 2009, Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, of the New York Yankees, admitted that he had taken banned substances from 2001 to 2003. It's been so long ago. Okay, so he admitted it back in 2009. Still, to me, that seems so long ago, I can't remember it. I can't remember hardly anything about it. When it says he admitted it, what did he admit? I don't remember it. What was the ramifications? Seems like I remember for a long time he said, no, I didn't, and he lied about it. Then what? I don't remember anything else about it. On this day in 1994, the 100th episode of Beverly Hills 90210 aired on Fox. 100th episode, this day, 94. Guarantee you, the homecoming queen and her sister, Lana Claire, watched it. Guaranteed. And on this day in 2010, the Jay Leno Show aired for the last time in primetime. The last time in prime time. Notable birthdays on this day in 1914. Born on this day in 1914. Ernest Tubb. One of the pioneers of country music. Look him up. Ernest Tubb. Jerry Clower told a story one time about a guy from a record label in California called him because they said, we don't have a comedian on our label and we would love to talk to you. And he started naming off musicians and stuff that they represented. Cher, The Who, this, that, and the other, and many others. And said, Jerry Clower went, you're going to have to name some of them many others. And he said, well, this one and that one and Ernest Tubb. And then Jerry Clower said, he went, Ernest Tubb! Man! And then he told the story about how when he was a kid, they would take a radio, whichever one had the most battery left, and they would turn it on to a particular show. And when Ernest Tubb came on, they turned it all the way up, took the knobs off so that nobody could mess with it. Ernest Tubb, born on this day in 1914. And then it's a big one. That's a big one. Not literally, but figuratively. He's still with us, too, by the way. I can tell you how old he is. I have to just get my handy-dandy phone out from C Spire. It's got a calendar on, a calculator. Sorry. Calculator on. Turning 83 years old today, Joe Pesci. Yeah, Goodfellas, My Cousin Vinny, Casino, Home Alone 1 and 2. Happy 83rd birthday to Joe Pesci, wherever you are. And thank you all for tuning in today in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. They are your home team here in the state of Mississippi, your hometown heroes. That's your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents. For Beaver, I'm Matt. All of us here on the show. Thanks for being here. We're going to line up, put the ball down, same time, same place, do it all again tomorrow. So we'll see you then.